Welcome back to Tech Vibe, the channel where future tech becomes today's reality. And if you thought Apple was done surprising us this year, think again. Because the next-gen Apple TV 4K is shaping up to be one of the biggest upgrades the streaming box has ever seen. Whether you're someone who loves that smooth Apple ecosystem, a hardcore home theater user, or you're just tired of laggy streaming devices, what we're about to reveal might finally make you upgrade. But here's the crazy part, Apple isn't just polishing the design. This time, they're preparing a streaming box with enough power to blur the line between a media player, a gaming device, and a smart home hub. So stick with me, because the leaks and reliable industry reports show a huge leap coming, and the price might actually surprise you in a good way. Let's start with the performance, because this is where things get exciting. The upcoming Apple TV 4K is expected to be powered by an A16 Bionic or even a slightly enhanced variant of it. That's the same chip previously seen in high-performance iPhones, and it absolutely destroys most streaming devices on the market in raw processing power. Apple is using this new horsepower not just for faster loading times, but for something bigger. There are strong indications that Apple is pushing Apple Arcade harder, aiming to make the next Apple TV capable of console-level graphics for smaller and mid-tier games. Not every living room needs an Xbox or a PS5, and Apple knows that. With a powerful chip, a dedicated cooling design, and tighter optimization, they're positioning the new Apple TV as more than a streaming box. It might be the entry point into Apple's gaming future. Now let's move to the design. Apple hasn't officially changed the Apple TV design in years, but insiders say this model could be slimmer, more heat-efficient, and possibly built with a matte finish instead of glossy plastic. But the bigger change? The Siri Remote. Apple is reportedly testing a redesigned remote with improved ergonomics and better motion control for games. And yes, Apple knows everyone wants a remote that is easier to hold, harder to lose, and more precise. This time, they seem to be listening. But here's the feature that might shake up the entire smart home ecosystem. Multiple reports claim the next-gen Apple TV 4K could double as a smart home hub with built-in Thread, upgraded Wi-Fi 7, and dramatically better HomeKit integration. This means faster automation, more reliable smart home devices, and smoother communication between accessories. With the growing popularity of Matter-compatible devices, Apple wants the Apple TV to be the brain of the modern home, handling automation, cameras, sensors, and future devices with almost no latency. If you've ever experienced delayed HomeKit responses, this new hardware could finally solve that. Now let's talk visuals. Of course, it's still 4K. But the bigger jump might be in HDR quality and AI-powered picture enhancements. Leaks suggest Apple is exploring improved HDR10+, updated Dolby Vision handling, and possibly real-time upscaling enhancements powered by machine learning. Think of it as Apple's version of what NVIDIA does with AI upscaling: cleaner, sharper, more detailed content, even if you're watching older videos. And now, something Apple fans have been waiting for: storage. Apple might finally increase the base storage from 64 GB to 128 GB, especially if they're pushing gaming more seriously. More storage means larger games, smoother performance, faster app switching, and fewer out-of-space notifications. If Apple is moving the Apple TV closer to console territory, higher storage isn't optional, it's necessary. Now here's what most people want to know: the price. According to industry analysts, Apple is expected to keep the price surprisingly close to the current model. The new Apple TV 4K is expected to start around $149 to $179, depending on storage. Apple doesn't want to scare customers away, especially with Amazon and Google selling cheap streaming sticks everywhere. And if Apple positions this device as a gaming-capable, smart home-ready powerhouse, the value suddenly becomes very convincing. As for the release date, multiple leaks suggest Apple is targeting late 2025 or early 2026, with most insiders leaning toward a fall 2025 announcement. Apple typically refreshes the Apple TV in multi-year cycles, and everything points to this window being the next major upgrade. If testing stays on schedule, you can expect Apple to unveil it alongside other fall products, possibly during their September or October event. But here's the real question: should you upgrade? If you already have the last Apple TV 4K and only use it for streaming, you might not need the upgrade. But if you're into gaming, smart home automation, or you want cutting-edge wireless performance like Wi-Fi 7, this upcoming model could be a major step forward. And for users coming from older Apple TVs or from cheap streaming sticks, the jump in speed, picture quality, and reliability will feel huge. This is one of those upgrades that makes everyday use noticeably better, not just on paper. Before we wrap up, here's a thought: Apple rarely builds a device without long-term strategy. The new Apple TV isn't just another streaming box. It's a gateway to Apple's expanding ecosystem: gaming, smart homes, services, AI-enhanced viewing, and potentially even future mixed reality integrations. Apple sees the living room as an opportunity, not an afterthought. And this next version might be the most future-ready Apple TV we've ever seen. If you're excited to see what Apple brings to the table next, make sure you stick with Tech Vibe. We break down leaks, rumors, and official updates with accuracy you can rely on. And if this video helped you get a clearer picture of the upcoming Apple TV 4K, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching Tech Vibe, where your next favorite device is always just one video away. Stay curious, stay tech savvy, and I'll see you in the next one.